seize the moment. Paul can't deal. Success. It's just a long list of days done right. Your mind sows the dream. Your faith waters it. Your mouth fertilizes it. And your actions harvest it. Welcome to the prize. Massive success requires extreme discipline. So the question is, how bad do you want? Greatness requires learning how to be comfortable with the things that make you uncomfortable. You can only achieve to the level that you are. Greatness.
Great morning.
It's something you become. Greatness made you. Therefore, each and every one of you out there listening right now has greatness on the inside of you. All you must do is to witness to what is already there. Become who you are. Welcome to the grind.
What is this?
This is Billy Osbrooks. I am blessed and unstoppable. To God be the glory.
Yes.
All right. Are we let's make sure we get a sound check here. Let's get a sound check. What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all? Everybody jumping on the grind on this Friday morning. Happy Friday.
There we go.
There
we go.
Definitely we good. We good to go.
We good. You good?
Rock and roll. I think
all right, sound check, guys. Can you guys hear both Pam and I?
Hello,
so we can get going, man. We want to jump into this part 2, man, of Discover and Uncover. We're super excited about it. We see you guys popping on, man. Thank you guys for being a part of the realest show ever, the grind, man. So we're gonna get into it, man. But you guys know what this is. This is the realest show ever, and we are absolutely positively going to say some things on this show that some people may not like. But guess what? We're going to say some things on this show too that also people probably will like. So we want to make sure that that we're saying the things that we're led to say and not the things that we think will appease. Right?
That's good.
So yeah. So man, again, say hello to everybody, Pam, when you come back. I know you and blast it out on me. Oh yeah, this is indeed Freedom Friday. This is Freedom Friday, man. So that means y'all know what this is. We're gonna sip on some mimosas and have some conversation. All right.
Yes.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. But I want Pam to get tuned in first so she can say hello to everybody.
Great morning, everybody jumping on the grind. We see you chiming in. I'm not live on IG just yet, but great morning to everybody that's jumping on Facebook.
I had to check, man. Look, I had to check. Man, you got that camera going on. I couldn't just come on in my underwear today. That camera could see my underwear, right? If I have it on. I got to put on some shorts, man, for that camera.
Right.
Oh, y'all messing up my grind.
Toyla Copeland, we see you out there. Christian Walker, Cindy Wyckoff, yes. Naja Levels, Alicia Henderson, Felicia Miller.
Tell Remy, somebody the grind is
Muhammad, on. Yes. Leading Lady Tam B. Simmons, Latrina. Is it Michelin, I believe, right? All right.
Michelin. It's a new way to say was it? Right. Is it Michigan?
No. I did the best with that I could. But great morning to everybody.
Flint, Michigan. What is it? I didn't see it.
No. I'm reading her last name, Natalie Renee. Great morning.
Her last name was Michelin.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, but happy Friday to each and every one of you. Definitely take the time to share the grind out, and to everybody that's chiming in on our Blog Talk Radio platform. To everybody that's dialing in, we truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to dial into the show. Every Tuesday and Friday, as the show takes place at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. It's a lunch break call for some of you all around the world. We're just getting started on West Coast. We're not really just getting started because we've been up for several hours on several different calls because that's what we do here in the McCray household, as we are always, on that grind to definitely be able to live the life that we absolutely know we deserve, and to create the freedom and the legacy that we know that we're here on this earth to create. So, just welcome to everybody on the grind this morning. Let me get live over here. You good?
I'm good. I think I'm good.
Right.
All right. Welcome, y'all. Let's jump into this because I'm actually not live on Instagram today, but that's okay.
Let me see.
That's okay. So let's jump into this because I want to give plenty of time to get this thing done. I have something to do today. I know you guys got plenty to do today. So let's jump into this because we're excited because we started this power series right here live on the grind because we wanted to help people get their personal power back. And that's kind of what the theme of this is to help you get your personal power back or help you redefine your personal power. Some of you say, well, I ain't lose my power. Well, let's see if we can give you some more power,
Right.
you know, and I absolutely have no problem. I love the way that you I love the thinking pattern. Is this for me?
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing? Oh,
Right, absolutely.
so
I got you.
so anyway, let's Freedom Friday, guys. So here's what we're gonna do. Before we get started, can we give me that? Let's multitask. Give me that. No. Give me that. Give me that phone. And I'll you pour. I'll put this on.
Are you gonna put that on?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Teamwork
There you go.
makes the dream work on every occasion. You
And
know?
remember, guys, as we do this, you know, put your comments in there, and when you put your comments in,
Freedom
guys will be able
Friday.
to see them. Absolutely,
Mimosa
absolutely.
Friday, as we're continuing part 2 of our series, the Power Series, we talked about the discovery on Tuesday. If you guys missed it, you definitely want to go back to blogtalkradio.com/The Grind 101 and check it out. And today we're going to be talking about part 2.
Part 2, guys. Part 1, discover to uncover, guys. Part 2, discover to uncover as well. So we're gonna I guess what do you call it? Go back a little bit and then come back forward for you guys. Hopefully, you guys got pen and paper, right? And you can take some notes, or maybe you got that photographic memory. That's cool too. So happy Friday to you also, Sheila. We see you out there. Thank you for being a part of the grind. Let's see if we can get this going here. There we go. All right, so we're connected everywhere. I like when Pam make mimosas because look, we
just need the coloring.
We just put a little bit of OJ in there just to say that we got mimosas. All right, it's really Champagne Fridays, right? All right. So let's jump into this, guys, because you know we want to revamp what is the word I'm missing? Review. There
you go.
I hadn't had no Nutriburs today.
You need me to go get you some?
No, that's okay. I'm gonna wing it.
All right, gotcha.
You know,
Take it right
we want to review a little bit this morning to make sure that we know where we are, guys. We started this thing off talking about the bubble, right? And you know, the whole bubble inspiration started not just with Tuesday's show, but it started with last week's show. I believe it was last Tuesday when I had my friend Bishop Jeff Battle on, and you know we talked about the bubble, and the inspiration for the bubble, for those of you that don't know, came from the whole NBA basketball season, right? They got their whole thing now. They're in the bubble. And by them being in a bubble, they get the opportunity to keep everything self-confined. They create in that space. Nothing from the outside comes in. So, you know, being synonymous of bubbles, that's what happens.
Right.
So that's where that inspiration actually came from. And the bubble is where you go to basically increase or create your power. Sometimes it's that power that's laying dormant down underneath that you don't know is there. Maybe you've never met it before. Maybe you had it and maybe you lost it.
Right.
But in any event, maybe it's intertwined in there, and it's having to try and work its way out. It's having to try and work its way out, you know, in order to get free, to give you everything that you need to get, right? So we talked about the bubble. We talked about that. We talked about your transparency. And we talked about, Pam, your transparency, determining your level, your progress, your level of progress, because you can have some progress, but will you get the level that you were supposed to get without being as transparent as you know you should be? And remember, this is not an exercise in, I call it, in futility, because when you're trying to do what you do for everybody on the outside, right? And then the inside is messed up. That's an exercise in futility, right?
Absolutely.
So this is an exercise in humility and transparency, and in you understanding that my self view of me has to be intact. And I got to know exactly who I am before I can get what I want.
Absolutely.
Right. So we talked about that. Your progress depends on your level of transparency. Your level of progress depends on your level of transparency. Right.
We also talked about how you just sometimes you gotta back up. Right. I mentioned how, sometimes you got to slow down in order to speed up, but we talked about backing up. You got to back up to see exactly where those wheels began to wobble, because the wheels don't just fall off, right? The wheels begin to wobble. And many times we may not pay attention to the wobbling. Right. And now we look up and the wheels have fallen off and we're like, what happened? But, when we take the time, right? What happened, right? What happened? But when we take the time to slow down and to just back that thing up, to identify, right? To discover, what actually took place, what situations, what things were involved, what people were involved, what was the surrounding atmosphere, that was going on, what position was I in, when those wheels began to wobble and to fall off.
So here it is. Yeah. Here it is. So we take this box, right? Mm-hmm. And this box of
just happened to find that.
This box of tissue, right? Pam was just talking about the discovery phase, and guys, right. You have to get to this level. Some of you, I want you guys to dig past this, because I'm talking to some of you. I may not be talking to others, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to really dig past and really see how this fits for you, because some people really don't. When I said in the beginning, Pam, some people really don't know that they've ever had any personal power. Right. Or
that's true.
They think that this is the power that I have and this is all I should have.
But they've allowed circumstances, situations in the world to minimize the power that you have within.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I did it for a long time.
Take this box of tissue. This is all about y'all today. Take this box of tissue right here. Right. If you cover this box of tissue up and pretend this is a towel, right? Uh-huh. If you cover this box of tissue up, right, y'all just pretend that it's covered all the way up. Okay. If you cover this box of tissue up, you really don't know what it is. You can speculate and think about what it is, depending upon where it is, and at the very moment, what is it? If you're in a tissue shop with a whole bunch of boxes or the tissue section, you probably gonna know that's a box of tissue, right? But in your life, you've got a lot of things that are inside of your bubble, and you don't know what the heck they are, mm-hmm. right? And you're like, well, what is that? What is that? I need to discover what that is. And you've discovered it. You see it's something there, because you're not creating. Guys, if you have a block right now on your creative ability, right? If you feel like, man, I can't focus and cycle my mind enough to get to a point where I can actually create some stuff, mm-hmm. where I can actually allow as we call them, my creative juices to get flowing, right? Mm-hmm. If you feel that way, then that means there's a block.
Right.
There's a creative block, and there's a practice that most, I won't say most, but a lot of the very successful people, Fortune 500 CEOs, I know for a fact that Bill Gates does it. I know for a fact that I do it on a small level. So even though we're near as wildly successful as they are, period. But the reality is I do it on my level, and we call that, separate to create, uh-huh. right? So they separate themselves from everything else, right? And when they separate themselves, all of the outside influences are gone. Pam, that means now they have the opportunity to really be in that bubble by themselves and create with a direct connect.
That's good. That's good, right? Because it does require separating, at times, to really be able to identify and to really discover what you have on the inside of you, and even the things that are, holding you back and things of that nature. You have to separate yourself. You have to put yourself, in that quiet place, mm-hmm. To be able to listen, to be able to pay attention, to be able to understand, the things that we should be doing, the things that we may not be doing, the things that we have to eliminate, the things that are holding us back, the things that are causing the wheels to wobble, all of that good stuff. You have to be able to have that time with yourself in order to really realize, what's going on. So that's definitely true. Separation is required.
separate to create.
Yeah.
A lot of them do it. And it's a great thing because they get the opportunity to spend maybe a week or sometimes it's even a month away, right? But how do you do that in your business, right? And this is another facet. But how do you do that in your business without your business failing? Right. That means there has to be some duplication, right, before you can get into that. And really, in order to create some form of duplication, guys, you had to have a level of separation, right? That doesn't mean you completely go dark. You got to kind of run in the red for a minute until you can create that duplication. And this is something different because we're getting ready to get into this other piece here. But you got to have that separation or that initial duplication, right? Running in the red before you can do that complete separate. Right. So that means you've got some things in place, some people that share your same vision, that your drive, your motivation, your inspiration, they share that and they can move everything and keep it moving along. And now when you come back after being separated and in that bubble, now you have some more ideas and you're like the Don Juan, you're like, let's keep it going. Right. So now you've got the ideas and to create and bring them back to the team. So that's something different. And we can talk about that on another show. But I want to jump right now.
And, I just want to add this too, because that's great. But also, too, in the midst of it, I think it requires in order to be able to separate and create a self-discipline and time management, because sometimes you can't just totally check out. You can't just totally separate.
No,
right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, most of the time you can't until you've run in the red long enough and you start running in the black now, which means you've created some duplication, but that's the blood, sweat, and tears that goes on throughout the process. Right? No progress in the process unless you actually go through it. Right. So as you're doing that, now you can create some duplication. And that duplication is what allows you to create the separation to create so that your team can keep moving and yada, yada, yada. All of the great successful people do it. I've studied the practice time and time again. Great leaders do great things, and you have to understand that, right? So you have to understand the mind of the leader. And if you find people that understand the mind of the leader, then you end up, guys, being able to create some great visions, some great things that move you and the team forward. So that's another show. And we'll get into that as well, because that's most certainly a practice. I know that's me. And, there are times when I'm going to unplug and completely shut out because I need to be able to create. Right.
Yeah.
So your brand is always you. All right. Remember that your brand always starts with you. So, all right. So that's another show. So let's jump into this because we're giving you guys the upper levels of how to dominate your all of this stuff after. That's next week. So we jumped a little bit ahead. So we can show you guys.
Let me slow you down today.
look, Pam sparked that. Don't get me into that mode, right? So we talked about the bubble. We know why we're there. We know what we're there to do. We're there to discover and uncover. Now, if we started to uncover these things, right, we have to understand some things about what we're uncovering. When we uncover it, we typically don't know what's there. We typically don't know how many parts are to it. But when you uncover it, it's almost like, you find some roaches in your house and that they got to be one central moment, right? They got to be in one central place. Some of y'all laugh, but y'all know some of y'all grew up and y'all had some roaches in y'all house, and it's okay because that's all a part of what happens, right? So even now, if you got roaches in your house, a certain type, you need to be looking around saying, where them things at? Because there's a spot in your house where they're congregating, right? Take this from an exterminator, right? I did that before in life, right? So it's like when you come in the kitchen, you turn the light on, and you got roaches. What do? Oh,
scatter!
My God, they see us. Let's get out of here, and they go back to the dark. That's the reason for the uncovering, right? So the people that you discover in your bubble that are crunched down in the corner, right? And they don't want you to see them, but inadvertently, and sometimes they don't know because you've allowed them in and they don't know. They're crunched down in the corner and you uncover them and they're like, oh crap, they see me? Yeah. Do they see me? Yeah, I see you, right? Because now you've identified that there's something there. Now we need to discover right now, because you guys, let me tell you something. Nobody should ever really be in your core, right? In your nucleus. That's like the control center for you,
For you to
right?
control them
That's
controls.
you. Yeah, that's you. Control the vision. That's your little bubble. And I just say don't let nobody in there, right? We call that the trenches below the trenches or the inner circle, right? That little bullseye that everybody shoots for, right? But there's that little section around it that allows you to let people in. And when you do that, right, you allow people to come in, and you have to also understand that your level is going to determine who's in. What you do in that bubble? What are you creating in that bubble? What power did you discover in that bubble? All right. So let me bring this all home for you guys and give you guys the things that you need to do to actually uncover your personal power. Right. So once you discovered now you start to uncover. You have to tell yourselves a few things. Right. You got to say, we've heard this before, and honesty is the best policy. Right. Honesty is the best policy. And we've heard all of these things, and all these things pertain, Pam, to people on the outside as we believe them, right? But it's always a you versus you type scenario, right? Always a you versus you. That's the only enemy that you have. The enemy within can do you no harm, right? If there is no enemy from the outside, the enemy on the inside can do you no harm, right? So that means the only thing that you got to battle is you.
Right.
So the honesty part here is going to come in play, right? So now we're getting into that honest part where you got to figure out, okay, am I going to lie to myself?
Right.
Like Will Smith said in that video, you mean to tell me that I got all of this other stuff going on around me, and I'm going to kick myself in the balls? I'm going to do that to myself? No, you don't want to do that to yourself. So how do you not sit there and destroy yourself?
That's a very good question, because most of the time, the reason why we're in the position that we're in is because of a lack of belief in self, of self-doubt, of believing the lies that we began to tell ourselves that are not of a positive nature, of believing, of knowing that we absolutely can become and do the things that we were created to do. But that self-doubt. So how do you not allow yourself to get in that position? You have to make a decision to work on you every single day. It's a daily work. It's a daily grind. It's a daily of saying, you know what, no matter what, the first thing every single day I'm gonna do is work on me. Because those first 15 to 30 minutes that you wake up every single day are very powerful, on how you start your day. What thoughts are immediately coming into your mind when you wake up? If they're not thoughts of saying, yes, I can, absolutely, I believe, and, yes, I am, then you know what? You have to work on you every day to now shifting your thinking, because thoughts become things. So when we understand that we have the power to shift our thinking and to really control our day and to control our destiny and to control the results that we want to see happen in our lives, we got to start it off first thing every single day. You start it off that way, you go to bed that way, and you know what? Eventually, you're able to really weed out, all of the nonsense that tries to creep in, because now you understand that you are that nucleus, right? That's you. And you know what? You don't have to let anything in unless you choose to, right? It's a choice. So there are choices that we have to make every single day in that regard, in order to not allow the stinking thinking, the negative thoughts, the negative energy, the negative people, the negative situations to come in and to now dominate. Because we've made a decision that, you know what, I'm not going to allow this to be the end of my story. I'm going to take and write the book. I'm going to turn the page every single day, because it's a constant growth and it's a constant becoming every single day.
Constant becoming every single day.
Right.
So what Pam is talking about, she's talking about this whole bubble thing, and there's things that are holding us back. And when you think about your vision, we talked about vision last week too,
right.
Pam as well. And here's one of the things that I absolutely know and live by, guys, is that it's going to be hard to breathe. And I said this to our team last night as we were on a call. And I said, it's kind of hard to breathe life into a vision that's choking on excuses. Right. So, and this is one of the things that we wanted to touch on in this part, the discover and the uncover part, is because inside of this bubble, the things that I told you were crouching over around in the corner, are the things that you realize are there. You've just never uncovered them. Now I keep saying, you guys keep saying, why do you keep saying uncover? How do I uncover it? Right? Get to that in a moment, right? But we got to first define the things that are there. Right. So now you've discovered them. Now you've uncovered them. But what are the things that you've uncovered? What's crouched over in the corner with you right now? Right? What's in there with you? You ever been in the dark and you put a light on you, just you, and you can't see anything around you? That's how it feels when you're in the bubble with things that should not be there, right? Mm. Like I used to go to cell sites a lot when I was working in engineering when I first started, right? Let's go to cell sites a lot, and all those towers that you guys see, and you drive by them, you don't know what they are. Well, that's what's allowing you to be able to talk on your phone, right? From place to place, those cell sites are handing you off. Mm-hmm. And I used to be the guy that actually went out and maintained and engineered that computer equipment that was inside of those shelters to make sure you guys could process calls, right? So one thing that I would notice is that at nighttime, they would put these cell sites in some of the craziest places, right? Cemeteries, I mean, in somebody's backyard, junkyards. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's all about who gives them the land, right? Yeah, who's going to give them the land? So, but when I go to those cell sites at night, imagine going to a cell site at night and you're in a cemetery, right? And all you got is the cell site there, and it's the light shining down on that cell site. You can't see anything around you, right? Although you don't believe in The Walking Dead, right? It's still kind of scary, right? Especially when you got woods around you too. Let's say you go on a spot secluded in the woods on a mountaintop. You don't know if it's a bear there, a snake coming up, but that's how it feels when you're in a circle, right, in your bubble with a whole bunch of things in there that should not be in there. You don't feel very powerful. You feel a little helpless. Right. You feel as if you're stifled. You can't create. You're always constantly checking behind you. And here's the reality of it. And here's the epiphany. It's never the things on the outside that are causing the issue. It's always the enemy on the inside, because it was that moment at those sites, at those cell sites, when I realized that I'm only afraid because I don't know what's around me. Mm-hmm. But if I block out what's around me, I can actually get some stuff done. So what are the things on the inside that we need to push to the outside into the dark, right? So you should draw this circle. There's an exercise here that you can draw this circle. And when you draw this circle, you're going to find that there's some things in there that should not be there. Okay. And as I say this, if I leave some out, guys, pop them on the screen if you have some, right? Because I may not remember them all. There's self-doubt. That's kind of like a killer, right? There's excuses, definitely. Right? You can't breathe life into vision when you're choking on excuses, right? You wonder why this stuff isn't moving for you. There's fear. There's procrastination. There's what do you call it? Pessimism. That's one of the new ones that I thrown in there. Pessimism. Right? Being around people that are always pessimistic and not optimistic, right? They always find the bad in something as opposed to finding the good, the why they can't as opposed to why they can, right? So it's always half empty instead of half full. So the pessimism, those people, and here's the big biggie for me, and I believe I put it right here in the center, is bad decisions. Bad decisions. Bad decisions. Bad decisions. Man, y'all should put that. Y'all should put that. That should be somebody's mantra. Stop making bad decisions.
And we all do it.
We all do it. But why do we make bad decisions? Blow your mind with something in a minute. Go ahead, Pam.
Oh, well, you know what? I truly believe that no one sets out to make a bad decision. Okay. Right? It's just that in that very moment, that's what we feel like we should do. And perhaps it's because we don't really look at all of the surrounding things around it. Like this is what, hey, this is what we want to do right now. boom, not really looking into the future, looking at the what can be the compound effect of me making a decision to do this. Do I really have, yes, I want that new car, but you know what? Yes, I have the money to go get that new car, but am I going to have the money to pay for it, a couple months down the road? And so sometimes we just do what we want to do because we want to do it because it's the right feeling at the moment, right? But then it's maybe not the right decision, right? Okay, we've been there, we've done that. Okay,
but people don't know it's a bad decision because right. Right. But why do people, like you said, you just said that you don't think people make bad decisions. The
not
key word so I can make the key words unknowingly and make the keywords the other keyword unintentionally. Right. So, but why do you do something unknowingly, and how can you do something unintentionally? Right? You can, it's possible, but what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you have to be the controller of your own destiny.
I think it's because of a lack of thought. Like you don't put much thought into it.
But if you have nothing, here's the thing: everything you're saying is right.
Sometimes you do put some thought into it, and it's still a bad decision.
But if you have, if you're empty, if you're empty on the inside, what are you thinking from?
Right. Nothing.
Right. If you haven't been developing yourself, as Pam always says, if you're not developing yourself, you can't think from a place of development.
Right.
You have to think of a place of a lack of development or undevelopment.
And
right.
So you're gonna move in that place.
You're gonna move in that place of undevelopment. Right. So
right.
now we're getting into
that's all you know.
That's all you know. That's all that's in there right now. Right. Because right now you got all of this stuff that's in here that's not on you. It's like being on an airplane. Right. Pam knows I hate being like on airplanes. I hate it in the seats. I'd be like, we need to be in first class for comfort, right? Some trips, I'm like, we ain't paying 10 grand just to be in first class, and it's an hour flight, right? It's crazy, right? But put us in comfort because I want a little elbow room, right? And I want a little leg room,
right?
If you are crowded, like I tell Pam, one of the things that irks me on the airplane is if I got to sit in that aisle seat, and everybody's gonna scrub on one of my shoulders. Drives me nuts, right? Don't put me in an aisle seat. I don't want an aisle seat and I don't want a middle seat. I want a window seat, right? Because I feel that I can control this side of the airplane, right? I'm good here. I can lay my head down, right? I don't want to sit in the middle because I feel like claustrophobic. And I don't want to be on the outside because people constantly scrub against you. I don't want that.
Excuse me.
But Pam's cool with the aisle, right? She likes the aisle, right? But that's what it is when you control your space. When you're controlling your space, now you can do some things. You got all of these decisions in there that you've made, and the bad decisions come from you allowing all of these things to stay in your bubble.
That's true.
Right? To stay in your circle, in your immediate vicinity, right? So the key here, guys, is to get those things out of your bubble so that you can actually start to create something that God created for you and you're not tapping into, right? I'm gonna show you guys how this works. Okay. So this guys work because I want to make sure I cover all the points with you guys today. Okay. So your decisions, you should write this down because this is going to be awesome. I'm going to say nothing. It's going to be awesome. Your decisions scope and define your destiny.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's
right.
Good.
Your decisions scope and define your destiny. What is destiny? Let's break this down. Because guys, I'm not a wordsmith, but I need to know the meaning of things, right? It's not like I'm not eloquent of words, so I can't just put them together like some people can put words together and make people want to give them all their money, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, just take my wallet. Just take this, right? So I'm not that dude, right? Because in the sentence, I'm probably going to say something that just is going to be like, oh, well, shoot, that hurt, right? That hurt. If I say something to you and it didn't hurt you, that's when you want to give me all your money, right? So, but the gain is in the pain, right?
Right.
All right. So your decision scope and define your destiny. What is destiny? Destiny, events that will necessarily, all right, happen to to a particular person or thing in the future. I want you guys to get the key words. Events that will necessarily, it's necessary for these events to happen for you to fulfill your destiny, right? Events that will necessarily happen to a person or a thing in the near future, right? It's like, or in the future, it's like, you say, well, if you keep riding that bicycle every day, you're going to wear the tires out. Eventually, yeah, you're going to wear the tires out. It's a thing. So the destiny of it is to probably not be any good until you change the tires. Let me just give you a simple explanation of destiny. Or a person is, if you keep making the decisions that you're making, that's going to be your destiny, right? So bad decisions sculpt and define your destiny. If your destiny is what is at stake here, because I hear Pam playing this song every day, 75 times a day. Your destiny. It's too important to give up for anything. All I hear every day coming from her office, she got like 3 songs on rotation, right?
That's right.
Rotation, right? So when I hear those songs, they're ingrained in my mind. I know they're ingrained in hers, right? So that destiny that you're trying to create is defined by and sculpted by your decisions. So how do you not make bad decisions? The only way you can not make bad decisions is to get the instructions for your decisions from the person that created you to be the thing and to accomplish what you were set here to accomplish. And that's that direct connect that we always talk about. That's the time that you spend with God, that you say, okay, what am I supposed to do? And then you start taking these little pieces. You say, well, I'll do that, but I won't do that. That's going to take too much of my time. I'm not doing that. That's going to make me feel a little nauseous because I got to talk in front of people. I'm not doing that. But I will sit and do this, this, and this. And you pick and choose what you're going to do. And it's like Tom Brady telling me, some of y'all I just made y'all skin crawl because some of y'all don't like Tom. My mom hates Tom Brady, right? She's like, I don't like Tom Brady. I'm like, why you don't like that man, Mom? She was like, I just don't like him. She don't even have a reason why she don't like him, right? She said, he's so good, right? I love Tom Brady because if I want to find out how to get 6 rings, I think he has 6 rings now, right? How to get 6 rings, football aficionado was going to tell me, right? I think he has 6 rings. If I want to know how to get 6 rings, I'm going to talk to 2 people, Michael Jordan or Tom Brady, right? If I don't know how to throw a pass, right? Who I want to talk to? I want to talk to the best. So I'm going to talk to Tom Brady because he throws great passes, right? He throws great passes. So I want to talk to the people that are going to get me where I need to be. Right. Absolutely. So your destiny, looking at how this thing is, guys, we always talk about thumbprint all the time. We talk about thumbprint. We talk about your individual power. We talk about your individual destiny, your individual purpose. The decisions that you're making right now are the decisions that are either making you die or they're making you fly. Right? Because if you're not flying, if you're not moving forward, then you are slowly dying, right? If you're not realizing the vision and moving towards your vision, then you are just aging. That's it. Right? Existing. It's just existing. So looking at, guys, how this thing pans out, we talk about the fact that it's you versus you, right? You discover, guys, that there's something. You discover that there's something there, but in order to uncover it, you have to clear yourself to manifest. No more fear, no more excuses. I can or I can't are both true. That's right. Right. What you believe is what you're gonna get. You believe is what you achieve. You absolutely can. But when you believe that you can't do it, then guess what? That's exactly what's gonna happen. And it's so true because when we really understand like what you're talking about, even as far as destiny, these are the things. It says events that will necessarily happen to a person or a thing in the near future. That lets us know that it's the steps that we take every single day that really determine our destiny. So, when we understand that, then we're able to really think more and put more emphasis on the decisions that we make along the way, realizing that there's going to be some type of compound effect, that's going to move us forward, as we move into our destiny. And so whether we're moving, whether we're doing, or whether we decide not to do anything, at the end of the day, it's still going to be a compound effect that's going to really gauge where we end up at. So, when you take all of that and you really realize that it's, everything that we do is in direct correlation of where we're going to end up.
You know, and when
Absolutely.
you move with that mindset every single day, then you'll wake up a little bit differently, especially when you want more in life, when you believe for real that you deserve more in life, when you understand that life is not about us, it's about purpose, it's about impact, it's about, legacy. What can we do to impact and change the lives of others? And so when you really get that deep down into your soul, into your heart, and now your every move is about that, how can you help to change the life of somebody else? And because in the process of being able to do that, God's going to bless you, in anyway, right? Because now it's, we understand that it's his purpose. It's not our purpose. So what purpose has he given each and every one of us here on this earth? But in order for us to identify, for us to know it, to be able to uncover, to be able to discover first, to uncover, we got to slow down, right? We got to listen. We got to pay attention. We got to realize that, we're not the end all be all. One of the things that I say every day, Lord, I decrease, okay, so that you can increase in my life, so that I could hear his voice. Because along this journey, none of us are perfect. We're all going to make mistakes, right? But he's a God of choice, but he's also a God of grace and mercy that's fresh and new every single day. So he gives us another chance to get it right, to move forward in order to be, who he's designed us to be, as we are listening and slowing down, so that now we can move towards the destiny that he has for us individually, realizing that my destiny may not be your destiny, right? But along the journey, there's going to be certain people that God connects you to, right? In order to, grab a hold of the power that each and every one of us has.
Pam moved out of the bubble on me.
I'm sorry.
She moved out of the bubble on me. I need for Pam to get back in the bubble. Get back in the bubble, baby.
All right, back in the bubble.
Okay, we're back in the bubble. All right. So
back in the bubble.
So we can give back. So you're gonna get this next week, okay? I'm gonna show you guys how to actually dominate. All right. But here's the thing. While you in get back in the bubble. Remember, I said bubble. The bubble's a bubble. The bubble's different. It's not a box. You can bust the bubble at any point in time, right? So think about this, right? Right. So let's think about this. We're talking about uncovering things.
Right.
And now you need to know how, once you uncover them, how to get them the heck out of your bubble.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
How do I actually do that? And I always said that it's you versus you, and it's really the mental view that you have of the things and of your abilities to do the things that God created you to do. It kind of gets subdued after a period of time, right? So when I say it's you versus you, here's one thing you got to stop doing. All right, and I see people do it all the time. We used to call it honey dripping back in the day, okay? But you have to stop sweet talking yourself.
Be real.
You gotta stop sweet talking yourself, man. Some of y'all sweet talking yourselves right to sleep. It's like a bedtime story, right? Oh, it's okay. You'll do better tomorrow. It's okay. You didn't do what you said you were gonna do today. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow's a brand new day. We use cliches to slay ourselves.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? We use cliches to slay ourselves, and we don't know how to get out of that cycle, because it feels good when you're sweet talking yourself. It feels great when you're telling yourself it's okay. I'll just have to do it a little bit better tomorrow. It's okay. Don't be so bad. Pat yourself on the back. You did great today. No, you didn't. Excuses. You didn't do great today.
Right.
You said, oh, I did all I could do, but you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Right? You said that you were going to do 10 of these a day. You said that you were going to have this by the end of the day. You said that you were going to go out and do that, and you didn't do it, and you're patting yourself on the back for what? There is no prize for second place.
Right.
Ain't no prize for second place. There's no prize. There's no prize for average and mediocre. There isn't. You know what the prize for average and mediocre is? Broke and disgusted. That's the prize, right? And some of you saying, well, I don't need money. Cool. I do. I need some money. Deep down, you do too. I don't need people to like me. Deep down, you do. But you want people to like the you that you were created to be.
Right.
Not the you that the world has created you to be. How do you uncover this stuff and actually pull it back? Now we get into the meat and potatoes, guys, which is the action. The action is how you uncover, because the action is where you get the traction from. There's a reason why the action is a subset of traction. Right? You don't get traction until you take the action. And as you take the action, then you start to uncover these things and start to realize, oh, they know I'm here, because they're doing things that are in direct correlation with me getting out of here. Right. So procrastination, if that's a part of what you do, stop procrastinating. Put it on your mirror, guys. We talk about this time and time again. You guys are looking for some profound equation that can tell you how to get from pi to square to move over here. And then boom, that's it. No, it's you. You're the equation. And when this happens, you look and you write this stuff on your mirror. I'm a procrastinator. Oh, you can't sweet talk yourself. You can't tell yourself. You can't lie to you. Lying to yourself is the kiss of death. You lie to others, that's one thing, right? That ain't good. But when you lie to people and then you be like, shoot, man, I can fly. And everybody be like, you can fly? You walk away, they be like, I can't fly. I cannot fly. Why I told people that, right? But the kiss of death is when you say you can fly and you believe you can fly. This is not an R. Kelly moment. It's not. You can't believe you can fly and just think you can do everything. That's the belief. You have to put the action to the belief, right? Right. You're like, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I Believe I Can Fly. That's a great song because it was remade by so many people. But at the end of the day, when you think about what I Believe I Can Fly means, you can say it all day. If you believe it, they say you can achieve it, right? But they say, here's the thing. If you can believe it, guys, you first got to go out and work to achieve it. Your belief has to be there first. That's how you start getting the self-doubt out. You have to believe in your thumbprint. Right. Write that down. Believe in my thumbprint. Believe that God has something different for me and just me, that only I can do. The best way that I can do it is specialized just to me. And I'm the person that God created to do it. And I got to find out what that is. But if you don't know what it is, you can't be the best version of you that you were created to be unless you know what you were created to be. So this is the key. This is how you get it. You get in this bubble. And when you get in this bubble, you start unlocking it. The self-doubt starts to go away because now you know. We talked about giving off of from empty. You can't give from empty. If you don't have no gas, you can't help somebody else that don't got no gas, right? So now you know the self-doubt starts to go away. Then you realize the excuses start to go away because you realize that your vision was choking on excuses. You remember that. You realize it. So now here you are. I said, oh man, this feels good. I'm not procrastinating anymore because that starts to go out of the way, right? I'm stop hanging around with people that are pessimistic. I'm only hanging around people that are optimistic. Even when things look bad, I want to be around people that look at the bright side. Absolutely. Right? And not accentuate the negative. That glass is fear is gone. Always half full. Fear is gone. Even if your glass, tell you right, even if your glass is a quarter way full, you know what? It's a quarter full. It could be a whole lot worse. And that's Pamela Tax. The first thing I say when something happens to me, man, that could have been a whole lot worse. Right. When I cut my hand, when I picked up tissue with a blade in it and cut my hand and it was bleeding, split my hand, it's just blood everywhere. I was like, man, that could have been a whole lot worse. I could have lost a finger. Right. I immediately think about the good side. Doesn't mean the pain goes away, but it doesn't mean it makes it worse either. Right. Because if I start accentuating on what's happening here, then that means then I can't focus on how to actually get to stop the bleeding. Right. So, that could have been a whole lot worse. That immediately puts me at ease to think of the upside as opposed to the downside. Right. So all these things start to go away. And now you wonder why you're able to make better decisions. Because now you know. You've looked in the mirror, you stopped sweet talking yourself, right? You're telling yourself what you are, you've written it down, and you're not going to cross it off your mirror until you stop doing it. Okay, until you stop doing it. I am not. Right. Be real with yourself, right? You can say, I am not a procrastinator and walk out the door and procrastinate, right? So it's all about what you do, guys, in that moment to actually figure out where you need to be, guys. So that's good. Here's the other piece. Time is not on your side. Constantly moving. Time is, I'm going to say this. Time is not your friend. It is not. Well, you could probably count on a friend when you tell them I'm running late, pick me up 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later than I told you to. And they'll be like, okay, no problem. I'll come a little later. You can't tell time that. Time just keeps, your personal clock is moving. You cannot stop it. I've never seen somebody set the clock to what they want to set it to and be on time. No.
Let me turn that thing back. Yeah. No, I'm not late. I'm here.
But we ended 30 minutes ago. And you know what we call those people time bandits, right? They're time bandits because what do? And some of you, this is gonna be y'all. This is gonna be like, oh. Some of y'all are like, well, shoot, it takes me 30 minutes to get there, right? And then it takes 30 minutes to get there. Some of y'all be like, Well, shoot, I'll just drive a little faster. I'll drive a little faster. Yeah, that'll work. So that works, but it puts you in danger and everybody else around you, right? So then some of you say, oh, they'll wait on me. They'll be okay. They'll wait on me. No problem. And now your friends are like, she's always late. He's always late. And then they stop excluding you and stuff, or they give you the time. If they're going to be somewhere at 1, they tell you to be there at 12 because you're always late. You cannot steal time. There are repercussions for that.
Right.
So once you realize that, how do I set this thing in motion? If time never stops, time never waits for no man, right? If it never waits, then how do you bend it? How do you change it? So that means time is not on your side. You got to change you and the way you look at it, right? If you says you need an hour to get dressed and it takes 30 minutes to get there, you better get up off your butt an hour and a half before, right? And actually start. You can't lay there saying, well, shoot, I have 30 minutes. I'll just give myself another 30 minutes. It'll be okay.
Right.
That's the sweet talk.
That is the sweet talk. I used to sweet talk myself a lot when it came time to time.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Oh my God.
You know what I started doing to Pam?
Then I had to.
I started doing to Pam.
Yes.
I started when we pull up somewhere, right? We go to a store or somewhere. When Pam now, I used to be sitting there. I'm standing outside the truck. I'm waiting. Pam's like, "Oh, we're here." Okay. Pam will wait until we get there to start getting stuff together.
Right. Start putting my shoes
on. So what I did, right, because I never want to be accused of being a crutch. All the way there. You had all this time. So when I get there, I even say, well, almost there. Sometimes that don't work.
Right.
So you have to put the action to what you say.
So Nate will get there. He'll put the car in park, grab the keys, and he gone.
I'm gone. I'm gone. What does that do? Some of y'all be like, oh, that's so mean. No, it's not mean. What did it do for Pam?
It helped me to change.
It helped her to change.
Either I'm going to be on point. I'm going to get it together so that when he gets out the car, I can get out the car. So I pay attention, right? Because many times I'll be doing other things and I'm not paying attention. Now I'm like, okay, and now he gone. So I had to learn, all right, that I was making excuses, procrastinating, and all of that stuff right there inside that bubble in order to now fix it. So now I pay attention. And guess what? When Nate gets out, I'm ready to get out too, right?
Yeah. It's too hot in Vegas to be waiting outside the car, right? And I get there, sometimes I be sitting there like here,
Sometimes you need that person in your life.
I'm waiting. I'm sitting in the car. She be like, "Oh, we here? Yeah, baby, we here."
Right.
We here.
Right.
But those moments when I'll just get out, and I got 3 different stages, right? The first stage is I'll go to the patient stage. I do that from time to time. Yeah, we here, baby. She get her shoes on. I'm real patient. And so there's the second phase is I'll get out and I'll leave the truck running, right? Leave the car running, and I'll go in, bring the lock up when you come. That's what I'll say. Just lock it up when you get out. She'd be like, "Oh snap, he's leaving me," but she has some air conditioning, right? The third phase is to get out and take the keys with me
when it's 112 degrees.
Boy, she get out quick then, But those are ways that you have to teach yourself lessons before you get to that point, right?
Yes.
Nobody's saying you got to be perfect, guys, but we do have to strive to be better, right? So let me put this last piece in there for you guys, so that you guys can grab this thing wholeheartedly, because it is really you versus you, and in the bubble, it's you, right? This is how you discover the issues in your life, and this is how you uncover them, which is the traction that creates the action, right? So it's you versus you. Here's the thing about humans. Human nature is to conquer. It's to conquer.
Right.
We're always looking to conquer something. Now, I'm not talking about going out and slaying people and all this now. I'm talking about we're just looking to conquer something. And the things that we should look to conquer, right? The things that we should look to conquer is the things that are holding us back internally. Right. The self-view of ourselves, self-doubt, perseverance. Conquer all of these things, and everything else just kind of falls in line. You become above average. Yeah, you become above average. And at this point, because everybody's doing the same thing, now you're above average. Now you live that life, that 3%ers life, because you're tapping into all 3%, right? So we're conquerors by nature. So the number one villain in your life is you. Figure that out, and you figure a lot out, right? So when you give up control of yourself, right? When you give up control of your bubble, your ability to create, then that means the process of becoming what God created you to be stops. It stops when you no longer control your destiny by making the right decisions, moving toward that destiny. You spent time, you know what it is, you know what you're good at, you know what you suck at. You're rolling along the lines of what you're good at because it feels good. It's purposeful. All of these things are in line. It's a feeling that you get. It's a freeing that you have. And it becomes a true freedom for you to create in that bubble. And when you start creating in that bubble, guys, now you start to realize that this is what God created me to be. This is it. It feels good, right? And then there are moments when it feels bad because it's taking you through something. But now you at least know what you're going through because you're going through it to head to your own destiny, to get to your purpose. And that's beautiful.
That's good. And I tell you, when you get free here, oh my goodness, it's the greatest thing to be free mentally, because when you're free mentally, just like Nate said, you now understand the power that you have to create. You're now able to really have the time that you need to have with yourself in order to really recognize the things that are in your life that, you know, that should be there, the things that are in your life that should not be there. And honestly, once you get free up here, everything becomes possible. Yep. You know, so it's so true that as we, you know, put ourselves in a position to discover, to now uncover, you know, the things that are holding us back, because many times, just like Nate talked about, it's the excuses, it's the procrastination, it's the limiting beliefs, it's the self-doubt, it's the fear. You know, these are all the things that, you know, I had to realize that I had inside my bubble in order to, you know, discover them so that I could realize that, you know what, I got the power to control the controls, right? That I am for real created for greatness. So therefore, if I'm saying that I'm created for greatness, that greatness is within, then no doubt can survive, no fear can survive, no limiting beliefs can survive,
no excuses
can survive. Procrastination can't survive, because you know what? None of those things, I allow those things to be there, but I got the power and the control to say, get out, right?
Get your butt out.
Get out, right?
Get your butt out.
And that's what we have to do every single day in order to become all that God created us.
And I think that's the hard part for people, is that they're afraid of what people are going to think. But when you understand that it's your spot, it's your space, right. It's like somebody coming in and sitting on your lap, and somebody coming in and sitting on their lap, and just people keep piling on you. And pretty soon, you know, things are like out of control.
Yeah.
So it's yours.
It's yours.
So create and control that space. And guys, that's when you start to get your personal power back.
Right.
And guys, come back with us on Tuesday, right? We got another 2 parts. All right. We got another 2 parts of grab that. Yeah.
No, just decline it. And okay. You're on live, gotcha. and I'll grab it with this.
So we got another 2 parts of dominate, guys. So we're going to talk about, starting on Tuesday, how you actually jump in and start dominating after you've made your discoveries and your.
No, we got to recover first.
We just did. No, I'm sorry. We got to recover and dominate. I'm sorry. You're right. So we're going to recover and dominate, guys, from there. And we're going to do that 2 parts. Okay. Yes. So we're going to touch heavily on recovering, right? Showing you guys how to amp back up, right? And then from there, we'll show you guys how to dominate. And there's an art to it. There really is. But it'll be easier to do it once you actually get that power back that God said was yours. And now you're not sacrificing anything other than what you're supposed to be sacrificing.
Absolutely.
So God bless you guys, man. We are out. We'll see you guys on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, see you on Tuesday.
I don't think this is going to actually
work. Where's my song? Talk about it. You might as well play us on out here with it.
I don't think this is going to. You don't have it? I don't think it's going to work because I think we're
because we're overtime.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it works. I was going to say, you know, I got it ready. I stay on point.
So this is Pam's favorite song, right?
One of my favorite, absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everybody on Facebook, on Blog Talk Radio, on IG. We love you all. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll see y'all back on Tuesday.
This is not a time to go off course.
No. Y'all want me to sing?
This is not a time for your focus. Got work to do for the Lord. And you cannot afford to lose your way. You come too far from where you started. So please
Don't let it
don't
be wasted.
and
you ain't up
wishing you never
once you realize what's worth it. Y'all gotta believe
your destiny.
Come on, y'all, sing.
It's too important to give up for anything.
Too important to give up anything. Come on, y'all. Get up and walk.
This is not a time to be distracted.
No.
Y'all know. Joyful noise, right? This is not a time to lose your focus. You gotta want to do for the Lord. And you cannot afford to lose your way. You come too far from what you started
From. All right, y'all. God bless y'all, man. See you guys on Tuesday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel, man.
Yes.
See you guys, and we love you guys. God bless y'all, man.
God bless y'all.
What's worth it? Your destiny.